Hello. Earlier we have seen that navigation bar. This is a navigation bar. If you see this portion we can use for company logo. And this is a home and this is a about us and here some services or else a contact us or any of the thing. So here home is one component. We can say like this is a tab. Inside home some features will be there. Similarly about us. So about us the company. And when we click about us we will get about us related information. Similarly services and some drop downs will be there. Under services some drop downs will be there. And contact us. So in Angular this one would be treated as a component, single component, like navigation bar we have done. And similarly home, if we are clicking home we need to show some content. If we are clicking about us we need to show some content. So in Angular we will be treating as a component. So what is component? Let us discuss about the component in this session. So go to Visual Studio, and here earlier we discussed that app routing modules. This file consisting of four files. So this is a one TS file and a CSS file and HTML file. This is a debug file. This is a component file, app.component.ts. Now we discussed about us or home. So that is one component, like one module. So in a big projects we will be treating in a navigation bar some modules will be there. So that module we can treat it as a one component. So if it is one component we can define this is a default generated app. If you are creating sample application, this is a default generated app. But how we are going to create another component like home, another component like about us? So let us create a component using Angular commands. Suppose Control C, two times you have to do. And component, how you are going to create a component? So ng G means generate, and component, sometimes you can give C, that is also treated as a component. And we are having home, so I am giving as ngg component home. So if I am giving like this, it will generate the four files. What are those? ta.ts, .html, so see, this is css and specification.ts. This is for debugging purpose. So if you go and see, here you will be able to see the home, and inside this four files are there. So among this is one of the important file, home.component.ts. So basically what component will be means, we can define like let me take one notepad. So component is like one class. So class component you can define like this, component. And what else will be there inside? Inside you will be having properties and methods, similar to Java. This is like a component definition. And if you are giving at the rate component, the decorator, and this at the rate annotation, this will become as a component. And inside the component what are all the things will be there means, HTML file will be there, and CSS will be there, and selector will be there. Selector, so selector is the form of name that would be based on this, that would be invoked or routed our application. So with this, what we will be understanding is at the rate component. If you are not defining, this will be treated as a simple class. But when we define this component, it would be defined as a decorator component. And inside this HTML file will be there CSS. CSS is a array kind of means many files we can define. So suppose abc dot scss xyz dot css, any file. So that is the reason css is a array kind of. HTML is one kind of a template. So selector will be the name of selector we can see in the program. So what is component? Component is a class that contains programming logic of the application. So if you are defining as a home, then component is defined. This component would be treated as a programming, like consisting of the programming logic, and this component is having one template kind of HTML, and one and only one template would be there, and many CSS files will also be there. So go to this, and whatever I have explained, component, see, if you can see this component, this is the component at the rate component, and you can go to here app component, and you can see this is one class component, home component, and this is a initializing purpose in it, and constructor will be defined ng in it. But at the rate decorator component is there. As I said, template URL, one template HTML will be there, and style URLs CSS file will be there, and this app home, this app home would be called invoked at HTML file. If you can see this index.html, we will be having app root. So this is a app root, app.html. If you see component.ts will be having app root, and the index.html, this is the first file when Angular file initialized. So it index.html will be loaded first, and it would be routed to app-root, and this app root will call as app.component.css and app.component.html. Based on this, app component.html will be invoked the information, isn't it? So now we have created home.component.css, we have created. So here what we have to define is div, you can, and home.component.ts, what it is, app hyphen name. So you have to give app hyphen name. See, it will come app hyphen name, and this is how it would be done. Then the app hyphen home, whenever this file is invoked, and this file also will be invoked, then what it is having app hyphen home. So app hyphen home is having HTML file is this one. So this HTML file is having home works. So this information default home works is there. If you are defining about us, default about us works, like that it would be defined. When you run, so you will get the message here about us works along with this navigation bar. So let us see whether we will get the information or not. ng serve open. So you will be able to see that works. ng serve hyphen open. So this is how component is one of the major thing in Angular application. So if you see we got the home box. So we have successfully defined the home component. Suppose if we want to define about us component, then go here and define generate ng component and about us. So it will generate four files again. One template HTML would be generated, CSS file would be generated, component and debugging file will be generated. Specification.ts is a debugging file. So go and see Visual Studio. Then your about us file is ready. Then from here you need to pick app hyphen about us. So this one you need to define it our app component.html because this is the main file. So define div and here you can define. So it will come app about us. Now if I run, I will get about us as well as home works and about us works. So ngserve hyphen open and you will see that second component about us also we will be able to see in the same file. See, you got this and compilation success and you got about works and home works. So two components defined. So normally we are when we click home it will come home works and when we are clicking about us it will come as about us works. So that one is event generation. So component is consisting of template plus event generation also it would be generated. Event generation I will show in a next session. So we have to do some clickable button, then when we are clicking this one it will come home works or about works whatever the content. So that is the reason what we are saying is a component is a class that contains programming logic of the application. So this is the component. If you are taking this is the component and this is the HTML and this is the component.css. So it would be consisting of a template and also component is greatly supported for the event driven kind of actions. So this is about the component. And if you want to investigate, so here you can go to F12 and inspect, then you will be able to see what are all the elements are loaded. So here HTML file, if you see HTML file, let me open this browser in Chrome, you will be able to see. And F12, you can press F12, you will be able to see inspect or view page source, inspect. So here you can see body. So app root is the first one because our primary root is app. After that only home or about us would be loaded. So if you can see this content navigation bar div, and if you go to app root and you will be able to see home and about us. So first one is our app root only will be loaded. Next last only our about us and home would be loaded and remaining supported files. If you can expand you will be able to see app underscore home. And if you open this app underscore about us. So what we are understanding here is, so main one is root. So root HTML would be loaded. Root is as far as app underscore root. Inside this we have defined one more component as app underscore home. And inside app root itself app underscore about us. About us. It is not like a default app underscore. If you want to define home, you can define. In our live projects, we will define as home about us. It is easily rememberable. So whatever the name you want to give, you can give it. You can change later on. You can change it. So this is about the component along with the navigation bar. In our next session, we will see about how to click event driven. So far, we have seen template based. Next session, we will see about event driven. This is how component works.